Hi and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk you through the refurbishment project of this room here. It's an additional ensuite bedroom with a little wet room in here, added to a 2-bedroom terrace house in Chester, make it into a 3-bedroom property. This is one of the very best ways that you can make more money from one of your existing properties. It's far more efficient than buying more properties. Adding an additional bedroom to create an extra letting unit to a property like this will significantly increase your cash flow, and you've got to spend very little to do it. So let's go through the numbers for the project. This property started out as a 2 living room and 2 upstairs bedroom property. Now both upstairs bedrooms already have ensuite bathrooms with them, so I decided to create an extra ensuite down here. Now this door you can see to my right, to your left. I'll play some photos through the video so you can see what this project looked like originally. This was originally just a straight wall, and this here was a storage cupboard under the stairs which run through down here. Now this storage cupboard originally was accessed from the far side in the other living room. So what we did is we stripped the render off this wall, cut out all the bricks here and created the doorway, and inside here, which I'll show you later, there's an ensuite wet room. You can see here the old lime plaster has been stripped away. Those of you that have done this job know just how much rubble this creates. There is so much. Now we had hoped to create a lovely brick feature wall, but unfortunately the bricks themselves were too cracked and too broken, so in the end we made the decision to dot and dab it with plasterboard, then skim and paint. And you can see here Jimbo, one of the guys that works with me, putting in some acro supports on this wall to prop it up while we cut the door frame out. Now Jimbo doesn't like PPE that much. You can see him there with a big angle grinder, no dust mask, no ear pro. I'd always recommend using PPE. Now you can see the doorway there, a lot of the bricks were quite cracked. We got a reasonably straight line on the edge and had to do a little bit of brickwork just to get a more square doorway. Now I decided to repoint basically the entire wall. The pointing was pretty much dust, so I thought while the render was off, I might as well get it repointed and get it really strong. And you can see here Jimbo just doing a bit of pointing work, bricking up that doorway. He's used a nice strong concrete lintel there to prop up the area. Neither of us are bricklayers, so we did the best job that we can. Often it's about just doing that. Now, in terms of the numbers for this project, the entire project cost around £4,200. That included me doing a substantial portion of the work myself. I had 2 guys working for me at the same time. It took 4 weeks to complete, working 3 days per week. That's £4,200 and 4 weeks. The project itself was fairly complex. Getting the waste pipes out and also the hot and cold feed into the wet room was pretty difficult. We had to excavate most of the other living room floor to about 90cm depth to run the pipes through. That did cause a lot of disruption, and as you can probably hear in the video now, you can hear one of the other tenants in this property hoovering her bedroom upstairs. So there were tenants living in this property at the time. That made it pretty difficult doing such a big project with so many power tools, preventing too much dust getting to the other rooms. So that did eat up a lot of our time. It's something I'm not keen to do again. So that's a good learning point for anyone thinking about doing it themselves, is try and do these jobs before any tenants move in. Now you can see here where the toilet went in, core drilled through that wall on the left, and then the waste pipe went out underneath the other living room floor, which I'll show later. Now you will see a fair number of fairly bodged jobs in this project, and that's because the guys that I use to work for me are the cheapest. They're not always the best. But for me, it's about getting the job done as fast as possible for the lowest possible price to a level where it's just about going to work. And you can see myself here concreting over the channel we cut for the waste pipe and hot and cold feed. Now we did have a lot of problems protecting the property from dust. You can see the kitchen there covered in dust sheets, but unfortunately dust still goes all over the floor. And the living room that we cut the channel out of resembled a crime scene for much of this project, with all this plastic sheeting all over the place. This bedroom is actually let from tonight. The new tenant moves in about 4 hours, and she's going to pay £575 a month. That includes all bills. So this house is going to let for approximately £1,800 per month. That is a 3-bedroom HMO with myself as the landlord paying all the bills and the council tax. Something that tenants tend to find really important in these shared houses, because there's not a massive amount of storage space, is you utilising whatever you've got to create as much storage space as possible. Now, this kind of built-in shelving is particularly good. It uses the space perfectly. A little bit of tidying up to do, needs a bit of caulking and stuff, but overall the job's done. Now this shelving here cost me £200 to have this installed. That was about £120 to pay my guy for the day to put it in, and then 80 quid for the materials. So really useful way to use an alcove like this, because it'd be so hard to find a wardrobe that fits this perfectly for only an extra £200. With these kind of rooms, it is worth putting in the effort to make the room look a bit nicer. Most landlords go for everything in white, but I like to have at least one feature wall, and you've seen earlier the nice green wall. Now I've matched that with the curtains, probably quite hard to see because of how sunny it is outside, but I've tried to get a nice match here, and if the tenant wants, then she can have matching bedding as well. Now your choice of bed is really important. So I get these beds from Argos, they're pretty cheap actually. The bed frame itself is, I think they're about £120. I got this at discount for £76 for the bed frame. But they're very sturdy, they're all metal, easy to put together. And I've used these for 6 years in my HMO rooms, and I've never had one break. The mattress itself is a memory foam mattress, so these are really comfortable. These are £170 each. This is a 3/4 size double bed. Pretty much all tenants want double beds, as most of you already know. Your choice of mattress is very important. You want your tenants to be comfortable because you want them to stay for longer. The more comfortable the tenant is, the longer they'll stay. So it's worth making the room as nice as possible. So for the wet room itself, because the size of the wet room is pretty small, and you can probably hear another tenant coming down the stairs there in the film, I've tried to use the nicest tiles I possibly can. Now these are the Indas Rust collection from Tops Tiles. I absolutely love these. About £25 a square metre on a trade discount. And I've used slightly cheaper wall tiles here as well. These are from B&Q, about £20 a square metre. So you can get cheaper tiles than this. Use a small 400mm wall hung sink, as you can see there, with a nice matte black tap. And if you look to your right, you'll see this wall hung toilet. This adds a lot of space here, the cistern hidden. Pretty nice design. And then if you look to your left, you'll see a lovely rainfall shower. Tenants tend to really like these. It adds a little bit of class to the room. Makes it feel more like a hotel room and less like an HMO bedroom. So just to recap on the stats for this deal. So I bought this property, 2-bedroom terrace house in Chester, for £186,500 last year. The addition of this ensuite wet room cost me £4,200, and that will gain an additional £575 per calendar month in rent. In terms of the value that I've added to this property, probably added somewhere between £5,000 and £15,000 to the property value. Very hard to know until you actually sell it, because these properties are only worth what someone else wants to pay for it. So overall, I hope you enjoyed that video. For more content just like this, I've gone over all my other deals. You'll probably learn quite a lot from it. Give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.